Chapter 313. Given by the universe, the name of Tianzhao. At this time, a force descending from the depths of the universe was the proof given to Yi Tian, proving that he had stepped into the emperor-level combat power and became a generation of Tianzhao. Rumble. Yi Tian's eyebrows were imprinted by the laws of the universe, and a trace of Tianzhao's mark gradually appeared in the center of his eyebrows that ordinary people could not see. If Yi Tian is willing, he can urge the Tianzhao mark in the future to prove his identity, which is enough to be admired by countless people. At this time, on the Yinyu star, many great powers who were cultivating in retreat opened their eyes one after another. This is someone who has achieved the name of Tianzhao. We have another Tianzhao in Yinyu star. This is a good thing. I don't know which old guy's junior, but it's a pity that it's not my kid, otherwise I can go and brag about it. Powerful voices echoed through the void, and soon regained their calm. Although the birth of Tianzhao has attracted the attention of these great powers, it has not yet reached the point where they are moved, and there are many Tianzhao of Yinyu Xing. It is just an emperor-level Tianzhao, and it is not an earth-shattering event. If an emperor-level peerless Tianzhao is born, they will be truly moved. How difficult it is to achieve the emperor-level peerless Tianzhao. Even if most Tianzhao are not promoted to the god level for a lifetime, there is no way to step into the emperor-level peerless Tianzhao combat power. They also didn't think that this little guy who had just stepped into the emperor-level Tianzhao combat power could be expected to step into the emperor, so there was nothing worth paying attention to. In the strange things realm, Yi Tian sensed his own strength at this time, and the restraint of this heaven and earth suddenly weakened a lot. At this moment, he can easily beat his previous self. Emperor level, really powerful. Yi Tian's face was full of excitement. At this time, if he returned to Earth, not to mention sweeping the world, it would be enough to compete with the top demigods of those sects and dragons, unless they had emperor-level transformed demigods. But how rare is the emperor-level Tianzhao? The dragon clan that appears on the Earth is just a dragon clan on a dragon planet, and those Grand Masters are just a sect force in a small galaxy in the galaxy, not a big force. How can it be so easy to give birth to Tianzhao? It's only been more than a year, and when the 5 years are up, when I return to Earth, I can definitely sweep away all the emperors and even demigods. Yi Tian was full of confidence in himself. At this moment, his heart was incomparably inflated. It took a few days. Yi Tian was completely familiar with the Tianzhao level combat power, and was about to cultivate for a period of time, when Lu Qingyu sent a message. Emperor of 10,000 laws, there is an amazing opportunity to appear, come on. Lu Qingyu's voice was very excited. Where? Yi Tian asked. Lu Qingyu hurriedly said the approximate range and asked Yi Tian to come over quickly. Yi Tian didn't ask about the specific situation, and went over directly. After becoming Tianzhao, Yi Tian's speed was much faster than before. Phew! Yi Tian pierced through the void at an incredible speed, like a ray of light, millions of miles in an instant. Since the location that Lu Qingyu said was not very clear, Yi Tian looked for a while before finally finding the right position. Above the ocean, near a lonely island, Lu Qingyu stood in the air and watched from afar, not daring to approach at all, while Qin Zixuan next to him was also standing there. Xing Yi, you called the Emperor of 10,000 laws. Does he have any hope of grabbing it? Qin Zixuan was a little worried. Yi Tian's strength is good, second only to the first grade 9-star Emperor level, and he has been cultivating here for 10 months. Maybe his strength has broken through and stepped into the first grade 9-star Emperor level? Besides, Yi Tian's life-saving means are much stronger than ours. Even the god-level black gold unicorn beast can't kill him. Even if he can't grab that treasure, it's enough to retreat. Lu Qingyu said. That's right. Qin Zixuan nodded. Wow! A figure suddenly appeared next to the two women, and subconsciously, the two women were about to make a move. It's me! Yi Tian's voice came. Lu Qingyu and Qin Zixuan looked at it intently, only to find that the person who had just teleported over was Yi Tian. Xing Yi. What kind of chance is it? I see that on that isolated island, many emperors are fighting, and it seems that many emperors have fallen, right? Yi Tian asked suspiciously. It's a truly amazing opportunity. Lu Qingyu said solemnly. The grass on the other side of the 9 stars appeared, and on that island, the one guarding the other side of the 9 stars was a lightning-winged dragon beast with first-grade 9-star Emperor-level combat power, and the Peerless Sword Emperor and the Overlord Emperor, the two first grade 9-star Emperor level dragons, were attacking that lightning-winged dragon beast. The other Emperor level wanted to take the opportunity to seize the 9-star grass. Some were killed by the Peerless Sword Emperor and the Overlord Emperor, and some were killed by the lightning-winged dragon beast. What is the grass on the other side of the 9 stars? Yi Tian was curious. Qin Zixuan couldn't help but explain, the grass on the other side of the 9 stars is a good thing. It can make any person's certain talent from the arcane level to the god level. How against the sky is this ability? Under normal circumstances, if you want to form a god-level talent, you must fuse the talent. For example, the ice talent and the water polo talent, these two talents can be fused. As long as the ice mystery and the water mystery are tried to fuse, once the fusion is successful, the two talents can be fused into a god-level talent. But how difficult it is to fuse the mysteries. Even the top forces need to use a lot of rare treasures and various means to assist, and they are expected to form a god-level talent. There are still traces of some talents forming god-level talents, but some talents have no hope at all, and there is almost no way to become god-level talents. But the 9-star grass can easily turn a person's talent into a god-level talent. How many Emperor-level people can be tempted? The effect of the grass on the other side of the 9 stars is so against the sky. Yi Tian was also moved. Lu Qingyi said, Yi Tian, we don't have the strength to snatch the grass on the other side of the 9 stars, but if you want to snatch it, you have to be careful. The Peerless Sword Emperor and the Overlord Emperor were completely crazy, and even the Emperor level of those top forces had been killed. In order to snatch the grass on the other side of the 9 stars, they will kill anyone. They were already at the first grade 9-star Emperor level, and this 9-star grass could even allow them to step into the Emperor level combat power and become a generation of Tianzhao. The temptation of Tianzhao is so great that it is enough for them to betray their own power. That's when it happened. Another emperor has broken into the island. It's the Emperor of Hatred. Yi Tian recognized the identity of the other party, and he was also a member of the Qin family. Even this guy who hates the Mad Emperor is here. The competition is even more fierce. Emperor Wanfa Heaven, otherwise you still don't go. Qin Zixuan suggested. Don't worry, my strength is much stronger than before. Yi Tian smiled slightly and teleported into the island in one step. It is said to be an island, and the size of this island is no less than a continent. At this time, the peaks of this island were all reduced to pieces, and a large number of Emperor-level people broke into a mountain in the middle of the island like crazy demons. But every time an Emperor level tried to get close to the grass on the other side of the 9 stars, they would be killed. The Peerless Sword Emperor didn't want the grass on the other side of the 9 stars to fall into the hands of other emperors, and others wanted to snatch it, but there was only one word: death. After the Hate Emperor entered, he tried to snatch the grass on the other side of the 9 stars, but the Peerless Sword Emperor and the Overlord Emperor directly gave up the lightning-winged dragon beast and stopped the Hate Mad Emperor, and the chaotic battle began. Then, the lightning pterodactyl beast silently returned to its lair, guarding the grass on the other side of the 9 stars. Yi Tian walked over step by step, gradually approaching the grass on the other side of the 9 stars. Suddenly, a longing came over it, a feeling all too familiar, and it came from the gift of copying. 9-star grass can increase the of replication talent. Chapter 314. Yi Tian didn't know what the specific level of the copying talent was, but every upgrade and transformation of the copying talent allowed him to gain huge benefits, which were incomparable to other talents. What Yi Tian wants to improve the most is also the copying talent, but it is too difficult to improve the copying talent. The treasures that can generally improve the talent are of no use to the copying talent. But once you encounter a treasure that can improve the copy talent will automatically sense. There is no doubt that the 9-star grass has aroused the desire to copy talents, and it will inevitably be able to increase the level of replication talents and make the replication talents transform. Grass on the other side of the 9 stars, I'm bound to win. Yi Tian's body moved, and he escaped into the space. It's not that he can't sweep everything, but he's afraid that if the grass on the other side of the 9 stars is destroyed, then it's useless for him to kill everyone. Therefore, he must ensure that he first obtains the 9-star grass. As long as he obtained the 9-star grass, even if others wanted to deal with him, he didn't have any worries at all. Escaping into the space, Yi Tian looked at the outside world as if he was standing in front of a glass, looking at everything in the outside world. It is also possible to walk in the space. Yi Tian walked a few steps, and came to the center of the island, where the grass on the other side of the 9 stars was. The grass is very unique. There are 9 star-like lights flashing on it, corresponding to 9 leaves, and each leaf is very slender, and the entire grass has a pattern similar to the flower on the other side. The grass on the other side of the 9 stars grows on the rocks, and a faint curtain of light protects it from external attacks. At this time, the lightning pterodactyl beast protected the grass on the other side of the 9 stars, preventing anyone from approaching, and the Peerless Sword Emperor, Overlord Emperor, and Hate Emperor also stopped fighting and were discussing. Peerless Sword Emperor, Overlord Emperor, it's not a matter for us to consume like this. It's better to do this. The 3 of us join forces together, fight to kill the lightning-winged dragon beast, and then fight for the grass on the other side of the 9 stars. How about it? The Peerless Sword Emperor snorted coldly. HMPH. Originally I made an agreement with the Overlord Emperor to kill the lightning-winged dragon beast first, but when you came up, you wanted to snatch the grass on the other side of the 9 stars first, which disrupted our plan. If you had helped us kill the lightning pterodactylman as soon as you came, perhaps the lightning pterodactylman would have died by now. Don't talk about the previous things, let's join forces. The Overlord Emperor spoke. The 3 great emperors discussed and were about to join forces to deal with the lightning pterodactyl beast. But suddenly, a hand appeared next to the grass on the other side of the 9 stars, and this hand was pinched into a claw technique form and grabbed it. Bang! The faint light curtain on the grass on the other side of the 9 stars shattered, and his claws poked into the rocks, digging out the grass on the other side of the 9 stars. Then, this hand escaped into space with the grass on the other side of the 9 stars and disappeared. Roar! The lightning pterodactylman went crazy. Its treasure was stolen? So, it frantically attacked the area. But there was still no trace of the man, and the other party could not be found at all. Not far away, the Peerless Sword Emperor, the Overlord Emperor, and the Hate Emperor were also completely dumbfounded, and suddenly the grass on the other side of the 9 stars was gone. That person should be a spatial talent. He must have escaped into space just now. I've heard that when the spatial talent reaches a certain level, you can escape into the space, and the rumors are true. The Hatred Emperor's face was very ugly. The 9-star grass is the treasure he dreams of. If he can get the 9-star grass, he can even raise his mysterious level strength talent to the god-level talent level in one fell swoop. In this way, he will definitely be able to break the shackles of the 9-star Emperor level and Emperor level combat power, and step into the Emperor level combat power in one fell swoop, becoming a Tianzhao figure. But now, the grass on the other side of the 9 stars has been taken away by others. Escape into space, then I will find you too. The Peerless Sword Emperor took out a treasure mirror. Escape mirror, Peerless Sword Emperor, you still have such a treasure. The Overlord Emperor and the Hate Emperor were surprised. The Sky Escape Mirror is very famous in Yin Yu Xing. It is a gadget that is extremely boring and refined by a supreme being. A total of 99 have been refined, and each Sky Escape Mirror is very precious. Separating space can reveal the traces of any invisible person, and can also see into space, and cross space to spy on the traces of enemies. If someone escapes into the space, the Sky Mirror can also be perceived. Rumble. The Void Mirror reveals the surrounding environment. Insight into space. With the urging of the Peerless Sword Emperor, the power of the Sky Mirror penetrated into the space, and the scene inside the space appeared in the Sky Mirror. Soon, Yi Tian's appearance appeared in the Sky Mirror. Emperor of 10,000 Laws, it's him. The Peerless Sword Emperor frowned. The reputation of the 10,000 Law Heavenly Emperor, he had also heard of it recently, was a 9-star Emperor level who had just risen in Qinfeng Giant City, ranking at the 2nd grade 9-star Emperor level. It is said that this time in the world of strange things, the Heavenly Emperor of 10,000 Laws snatched a Dark Soul Star grass, and defeated 3 2nd grade 9-star Emperors, and his strength was very close to the 1st grade 9-star Emperor level. But it is rumored that Yi Tian has no means to escape into space. Which of you has the ability to penetrate space? The Hate Emperor asked. The Peerless Sword Emperor said solemnly, even if there is, what if we can attack? Can he still not hide? Besides, we can see him, and he can also see me. The sky mirror is only able to spy on the existence of enemies, and it is not really useful. If the Heavenly Emperor of 10,000 Laws leaves at this time, I'm afraid we won't be able to catch up. I'm not leaving, Yi Tian's voice came out. The next moment, he stepped out of the space, facing the crowd with his hands behind his back. Human, you snatched my baby. The lightning pterosaur beast stared at Yi Tian with a fixed gaze, and immediately rushed over with monstrous anger. Seeing that the lightning-winged dragon beast had made a move, the three of the peerless Sword Emperor watched from the crowd. The lightning-winged dragon beast was also at the first rank of the 9-star Emperor rank, no worse than any of them. So, they don't need to make a move. It's better to be able to kill him. The three of the peerless Sword Emperor secretly looked forward to it. But they also knew that this possibility was not very large, because Yi Tian could escape into the space. Get out! Yi Tian turned on the God-level strength talent and the God-level claw technique to tear the divine claw, and attacked it with one claw. Boom! The lightning pterosaur beast was directly blasted away by Yi Tian's blow, and the scales on its body were shattered countless times, and even a huge wound appeared on its chest, almost penetrating its body. Under the blow, the lightning pterodactyl was seriously injured. It's impossible. The peerless Sword Emperor and the others were taken aback, completely incredulous. They had fought with the lightning-winged dragon beast, and they knew that the corpse of the lightning-winged dragon beast was the real first-grade 9-star Emperor level, and Yi Tian was rumored to be only a second-grade 9-star Emperor level. Even if Yi Tian's strength broke through and stepped into the first-grade 9-star Emperor level, it would only be on par with the lightning-winged dragon beast at most. How could he seriously injure the lightning-winged dragon beast with one blow? This doesn't make sense. Tianzhao, you have stepped into Tianzhao? The peerless Sword Emperor asked tremblingly. When the others heard this, they all looked at Yi Tian in horror. Oh my god! What a glorious title this is! Qinfeng Giant City used to be Tianzhao, but these Tianzhao left Qinfeng Giant City one by one for higher development and went to a more vast world. Therefore, there is no Tianzhao in this generation of Qinfeng Giant City. The first grade 9-star Emperor level is the strongest of the younger generation in Qinfeng Giant City. But now, Yi Tian has shown the strength of suspected Tianzhao. How can they not be shocked? I don't believe he's Tianzhao. The Hate Emperor slammed his palm. He was too eager for the grass on the other side of the 9 stars, and he didn't want to give up like this. He would rather believe that Yi Tian had cast some kind of forbidden technique just now, forcibly improving his strength and seriously injuring the lightning-winged dragon beast. If that's the case, he can hit Yi Tian hard and seize the grass on the other side of the 9 stars. Get out! As soon as Yi Tian pointed, a space ball appeared, instantly enveloping the Hate Emperor. Space Sphere. The Hate Emperor was shocked. I saw that a sun-level defensive armor appeared on his body, and the Yuan Force Defense secret technique was unleashed, and the Mystic-level defense talent was also opened. Rumble. The space ball detonated, the internal space was completely shattered, and a person covered in blood flew out, and it was the Emperor of Hatred. At this time, the Emperor of Hate was already seriously injured. Tianzhao. He is really Tianzhao, the peerless Sword Emperor muttered to himself, and he had already confirmed Yi Tian's strength in his heart. Chapter 315. Just one space ball seriously injured the Hate Emperor, and the first grade 9-star Emperor level couldn't do this at all, only Tianzhao could do it. Tianzhao can offset a part of the suppression of heaven and earth, and can truly exert his strength, and his combat power is much stronger than that of the first grade 9-star Emperor level. Because of this, Tianzhao could easily seriously injure a 9-star Emperor. That's when it happened. A Tianzhao mark appeared in the center of Yi Tian's eyebrows. Get out of here! Lang Lang's sound permeated the audience. The mark of heaven. Many emperors were stunned and fled immediately. In the face of a Tianzhao, they didn't even have the courage to fight. Wanfa Tianzhao, I'll leave now. The peerless Sword Emperor clenched his fists and immediately retreated, not daring to compete with Yi Tian. The Emperor of Hate didn't dare to show hostility, and hurriedly said, Wanfa Tianzhao, I was rude just now, and I ask Wanfa Tianzhao to forgive my sin. Still not rolling? Yi Tian stared at the Hate Madman Emperor. The hated Emperor was stunned, and hurriedly dragged his injuries and ran away, for fear that Yi Tian would regret it. The Overlord Emperor also completely gave up the 9-star grass and asked him to take the 9-star grass from a Tianzhao, which was almost impossible to do. In the blink of an eye, the emperors on the island were gone. Rushing, 2 emperors came to the island. It was Lu Qinyu and Qin Zixuan. Emperor of 10,000 laws, you are the Tianzhao. Qin Zixuan looked at Yi Tian in shock at this time, and still couldn't believe it. Yes, Yi Tian admitted, becoming a celestial pride, what needs to be concealed will only make people jealous. For example, just now, he showed Tianzhao's strength, and no matter how many emperors he didn't dare to attack him. This was Tianzhao's deterrent. If he was only a first-grade 9-star emperor, other emperors might even join forces to deal with him. This is the difference between Tianzhao and the 9-star emperor level. Oh my God, you are really Tianzhao. Lu Qinyu covered his mouth and exclaimed. It would not be surprising if other first-grade emperor level stepped into the emperor level combat power with the help of the 9-star other side grass and became a Tianzhao, but Yi Tian had not yet refined the 9-star other side grass, but he had already become a Tianzhao. If you refine the grass on the other side of the 9 stars, wouldn't it be even more powerful? It's a fluke. Yi Tian smiled slightly. This time, he was able to step into the Emperor level Tianzhao level, indeed thanks to Lu Qinyu and Qin Zixuan. If it weren't for the 2 of them who gave him a place to enter the world of strange things, he wanted to become a Tianzhao, and he didn't know how long it would take. After knowing that Yi Tian was Tianzhao, Lu Qinyu and Qin Zixuan were not restrained. With their identity, they are not afraid of a Tianzhao. No matter how strong Tianzhao is, can he still be stronger than their grandfather? Besides, Yi Tian is not their enemy, so they naturally don't need to be afraid. Yi Tian didn't talk to Lu Qinyu for long, and the 3 of them separated. There are still 2 months left, and if you look carefully, you may be able to get some benefits, so you can't afford to delay time. And Yi Tian flew on the sea, and soon found another island, opened a temporary cave on it, and carried out a retreat. In the cave, Yi Tian took out the 9-star grass on the other side, and immediately devoured it in one bite, and began to refine the 9-star grass. Rumble. The talent mark of the copying talent frantically absorbed the energy of the grass on the other side of the 9 stars, and this time Yi Tian did not faint, but clearly sensed the transformation of the copying talent. Half a day later, the transformation of the copy talent is finally complete. Yi Tian hurriedly used his consciousness to communicate with the copying talent imprint and learned about the changes in the copying talent. First of all, on Yinyu Star, the enveloping range of the copy talent has changed from 100 meters to 3,000 meters, and the range has expanded many times, which can be regarded as a real transformation. Secondly, copying talents can copy 5 talents at a time, and the cooldown time is still 1 day. And the copy talent has one more ability, deprivation of gift. To deprive is to deprive a person of their talents, whereas to give is to give them talents. For example, if he can deprive a person of his levelless cultivation talent and then give it to others, then the person who is given it has a levelless cultivation talent. What a rebellious ability this is! In this way, his wife and sister will be blessed, and there will be no need to worry about talent in the future. Of course, this ability also has limitations. For example, he can only deprive the soul of a martial artist who is not as strong as his own strength, and if the opponent's soul is very strong, his copying talent cannot deprive the opponent of his talent. Secondly, this ability can only be used once a year. Now I don't have to worry about Yuer and Xiaoyu's talents. I was worried that they could only be limited to the god level in the future, and there was no way to continue to improve. But the lifespan of the god level is also limited. Once the lifespan reaches the limit, even the most powerful god level will die. Yi Tian muttered, if he wants to be with Yuer forever, then he must ensure that Yuer's talent is very high enough to reach a higher realm. But after his cultivation talent reaches the Dawn Sun level, there is almost no way to improve it. He had checked Yin Yuxing's network before, and also asked Lu Qinyu and Qin Zixuan, knowing that treasures that could give birth to Shi-Ri level cultivation talent were not rare in Yin Yuxing, and they could still be bought as long as they paid the price. Treasures that can be promoted to the level of non-superior cultivation talent are difficult to find in the world, and even the most powerful forces in the galaxy are estimated to be difficult to obtain. He didn't expect to be able to get such a treasure, so he was always worried about his wife and sister's cultivation talents. But now, he doesn't have to worry anymore. Deprivation of this ability must be put to good use, and it can only be used on one's own enemies. Yi Tian is very principled, and it is impossible to use such an ability on a stranger. Because once the deprivation ability is used, the other party will have no cultivation talent, and there will be no way to cultivate in the future. In order not to expose this ability of his own, he must kill the opponent, so he can only use it on his own enemies. The benefits of the transformation of the copying talent this time are too great. Now I really have to thank Lu Qingyi. If she hadn't sent me a message, I wouldn't know the 9-star grass at all, and I wouldn't be able to get the 9-star grass, so naturally there would be no way to make the copying talent transform. Yi Tian thought to himself. He decided that if Lu Qingyi had any trouble in the future, he would try to help as much as possible. There are still 2 months left before the Strange Thing realm, and he still has a lot of treasures in the Strange Thing realm in his hands. If he doesn't use them, wouldn't it be a waste? So, Yi Tian next frantically swallowed these treasures and tempered his body. He didn't seek to break the 16th physical limit, he just wanted to be able to temper his body to be stronger, and at least cultivate for a period of time in the future. Time passed day by day. In the blink of an eye, nearly 2 months have passed. There were still 3 days left before the Strange Thing realm was completely closed, and Yi Tian had exhausted all those treasures in the Strange Object realm. It's time to go back. After Yi Tian identified the direction, he flew towards the entrance and exit of the Strange Thing realm. The speed of the emperors is very fast, and 3 days is enough time to fly to the entrance and exit of the Strange Thing realm. Yi Tian flew relatively slowly along the way, and while flying, he used his treasure hunting talent to see if he could find a treasure comparable to the grass on the other side of the 9 stars, and then used the last demarcation stone seal to take it out. It's a pity that his luck was not so good, and he didn't find any more precious treasures until he reached the entrance and exit of the Strange Thing realm. Forget it, keep the last demarcation stone, maybe it will be useful in the future. Yi Tian thought so. Wow! He flew into the entrance and exit of the Strange Thing realm, flew out, and left the Strange Thing realm. When Yi Tianfei came out, he saw a lot of Emperor level. At this time, the fact that Yi Tian is Tianzhao had already been publicized, so many emperors looked at Yi Tian with respect, jealousy, fear, and jealousy. Meet the 10,000 laws. Meet the 10,000 laws. Meet the 10,000 laws. An emperor level cupped his fists and bowed. It can be seen from this that Tianzhao's reputation is so great, even if he looks at Yi Tian's unpleasant emperor, he needs to be respectful. Lu Qingyi and Qin Zixuan had also come out a long time ago, and when Yi Tian came out, they came over. Wanfa Tianzhao, let's go back, Qin Zixuan said. Chapter 316. Yi Tian, Lu Qingyi, and Qin Zixuan left, and it didn't take long for them to return to Qinfeng Giant City. Wanfa Tianzhao, we're going back. See you next time. Lu Qingyi and Qin Zixuan said goodbye to Yi Tian. It's okay if others call me Wanfa Tianzhao, but we're friends, so just call me Yi Tian in the future. If that's really not good, then it's okay to call me Wanfa Tianzhao. Yi Tian said. Suddenly, Lu Qingyi said with a solemn face, Wanfa Tianzhao, Tianzhao, is not a disgraceful title. Don't think that Tianzhao is just a simple title, because it has an unusual meaning. Is it undeniable? Yi Tian was a little surprised. It was the first time he had heard this kind of statement. Wanfa Tianzhao, there were many emperors who were very polite to you before. Many of them came from the real top forces in Qinfeng Giant City, and their status was not low. Why would they be so polite to you? Are they really afraid of your strength? No, they are afraid of the title of Tianzhao, not your strength. Those guys don't even fear god-level powerhouses too much. Even if a god-level person is stronger than them, they would only pay some price if they wanted to kill a god level. But they are afraid of the Tians, and they don't even dare to have the slightest intention of dealing with you. Do you know why? Asked Lu Qingyi. Why? Yi Tian was also very curious about this. Tianzhao can't be humiliated. Lu Qingyi explained. If someone insults a Tianzhao, and Tianzhao kills the other party, the forces behind the other party dare not retaliate, because that person deserved to die. Tianzhao's indisgrace is not an empty word, but a rule. It is a kind of treasure of the universe's human high level to Tianzhao. There was once a big force with many true gods, and because that force sent a true god to kill a Tianzhao, it directly led to the destruction of that force by the human high level. Many true gods, god level, and emperor level people involved died. What? Yi Tian was shocked. After the death of a Tianzhao, so many true gods and god levels were buried, and even the entire force was destroyed. This. Yi Tian didn't know what to say. Lu Qingyi said again, "You may still be guessing whether that Tianzhao had some powerful master or if their background was not ordinary. I was told that Tianzhao had no origin. He was just a native Tianzhao who had risen from a human planet, and it didn't take long for him to get out of his own planet's world. It was because he provoked a gentleman that he fell and died. It is precisely because of this incident that a big force perished, letting everyone know that Tianzhao is not an empty word. No force dares to attack a Tianzhao. Tianzhao can only be killed by Tianzhao. If a strong person above the god level makes a move against Tianzhao, it will be the end of death. The title of Tianzhao also has this benefit." Yi Tian was surprised, but at the same time, he couldn't help but be happy. From this point of view, as long as he doesn't die, at least at the emperor level, he is still relatively safe. Of course, Tianzhao can only apply to humans, and other races don't care whether you are Tianzhao or not. With the name of Tianzhao, Yi Tian didn't have to worry about Qin Feng Giant City's power being unfavorable to him now, but he wouldn't be overly proud. Tianzhao's protection period is only at the level of the emperor level, and once he becomes a god, he is no longer a Tianzhao. Human beings' protection of Tianzhao is just that they don't want the Tianzhao of human beings to fall before they grow up, and it is impossible to protect them forever. Qin Zixuan and Lu Qingyi called Yi Tian Wanfa Tianzhao in order to respect Tianzhao, but under Yi Tian's strong request, they changed their names and called Yi Tian's real name. In this way, Yi Tian and the two girls have a closer relationship. They are really good friends, unlike seemingly good friends where, in fact, the two parties are still a little strange. After Lu Qingyi and Qin Zixuan left, Yi Tian returned to his residence. In the next few days, many forces sent people to woo Yi Tian, but Yi Tian was perfunctory. Obviously, they all want Yi Tian to join their forces. Once Yi Tian joins their forces, it means that a Tianzhao was born in their forces, and there are many benefits. With Tianzhao's name, it is enough to bring many benefits to their forces. It's a pity that Yi Tian is not interested in it at all, and it is impossible to join their forces at all. This day, Yi Tian was in retreat and cultivating, and Qin Zixuan came to visit. "Hall, Zixuan, what are you doing here?" Yi Tian asked. "Yi Tian, my father wants to invite you to the city lord's mansion," Qin Zixuan said. "Your father?" Yi Tian frowned. Qin Zixuan's father was the son of the city lord, so he belonged to the young city lord. It was said that he had a god-level cultivation, and he was not very far from the true god level, so his strength was very strong. Why did such a big man invite him to the city lord's mansion? "Is it difficult to? Zixuan, is it possible that your father also wants me to join the Qin family or the city lord's mansion? If that's the case, I won't agree." Yi Tian first reminded her that it would not be good if the relationship between the two sides was stiffened. "Not really," Qin Zixuan explained. "It seems to be something else. Don't worry, if he really invites you to join the city lord's mansion or the Qin family, you can just refuse directly." Yi Tian was silent for a while, and then he responded, "Okay. Then I'll go to the city lord's mansion." Qin Zixuan led the way, and Yi Tian followed behind, heading in the direction of the city lord's mansion. Castle Lord's Mansion. Yi Tian followed Qin Zixuan here. This was his first time coming to the city lord's mansion. The city lord's mansion was very large, and it was shrouded in a very powerful formation. Even with his formation talent, it was difficult to see the surface of this formation. Obviously, the level of this great array was beyond his imagination. In addition to the protection of the large array, the army of the city lord's mansion is composed of emperor-level powerhouses, and there is a god-level aura permeating the surroundings, which shows that there are many god-level people guarding the city lord's mansion. And the powerful aura faintly coming out of the depths of the city lord's mansion far exceeded the god level, and it was definitely in existence above the true god level. "Miss! Miss! Miss!" A famous city lord's palace guard and servant greeted Qin Zixuan, but because he didn't know Yi Tian, he naturally ignored him. Soon, Yi Tian came to a side hall in the city lord's mansion. Yi Tian, you sit here. I'll inform my father, Qin Zixuan said. At this moment, a voice came, I'm coming. Don't notify me. A young man in a cyan robe walked in. He was Qin Zixuan's father. Due to the long lifespan of the god level, Qin Zixuan's father naturally looked very young, which was naturally different from the middle-aged, father-like image that Yi Tian imagined. I've seen the purple wheel god. Yi Tian stood up and said respectfully. The emperor level has the title of emperor, and the god level has the title of god. A god-level powerhouse must be honored as a god. The purple wheel god was called the purple wheel emperor when he was at the emperor level, and he is the purple wheel god now that he is at the god level. Wanfa Tianzhao, you're welcome. Sit down. The purple wheel god smiled. Immediately, the purple wheel god said to Qin Zixuan, Xuaner, you go and get busy with yours. The meaning is obvious. Let Qin Zixuan leave. Father, I'll just sit by and listen. Don't make trouble. Qin Zixuan was very curious, so she wanted to hear it. Purple wheel god said with a solemn face, Xuaner, there are some things that only Tianzhao, or a strong person above the god level can know. You are not suitable to know in advance. Understand? As soon as Qin Zixuan heard it, she knew that the conversation between her father and Yi Tian involved some secrets, and she knew her father's temper, so she didn't dare to linger and hurriedly retreated. As soon as Qin Zixuan left, the purple wheel god said, Wanfa Tianzhao, I didn't come to you to ask you to join the Qin family and the city lord's mansion. Tianzhao is arrogant, so naturally, you will not join a force casually. Actually, I came to you about another thing, so to speak, to help you, but it is also good for yourself, which can be regarded as mutual benefit. Purple wheel god, please speak. Yi Tian is also a little interested in what the purple wheel god said. As long as it is good and there is no harm to himself, he really doesn't mind doing such a thing.